Well, hello fellow crafters, Janine here, and today I'm bringing you a haul video from Jerry's Artarma. I was watching a watercolor tutorial by Lindsay Wyrick, the Frugal Crafter, and it was a sponsored video by Jerry's, and I have been on a watercolor journey. I've been doing a little watercoloring for a few months now, just for doing some pretty backgrounds for card making, but I've been interested in expanding beyond that into actually watercoloring pictures. So it's kind of I'm learning from tutorials on YouTube and blogs and other resources, so it's kind of a self-taught or self-education, I guess you can say, because I'm seeking out my own education through different avenues. But one of the things that Lindsay is pretty consistent about is that if you want to have a quality product when you're finished, then you have to use quality products in the process. And so based on her advice, I went and picked up, or I went over to jerry'sartarma.com and picked up some things that they had that were on sale but professional quality, and these Simply Simmons brushes that are the white brushes here, they had on sale. And so I went ahead and picked 3 of them in a size 10 round, a size 6 round, and a size 4 round, and I do intend to get some more of the round sizes. And then she also recommended getting brushes that have the acrylic handle with a scraper end, because it helps you to put in veining on leaves, anywhere that you want to put in a straight line that's going to stay. You could use lots of other products, but she did recommend getting acrylic handles for a number of reasons, so that if they stay soaked in the water for too long, unlike the wood, they won't expand, or the water just doesn't affect acrylic handles. So this Tom Jones 1-inch flat wash was on sale, and out of the brushes that I purchased, it was the more expensive of them, and honestly I'm the least pleased with it. I've used it a couple of times, I've used all of these a couple of times, testing them out, and I was very pleased with the performance of the Simply Simmons. But this brush, considering that it was a more expensive brush, I'm a little disappointed with. It's again a Tom Jones 1-inch flat, and even though I've wet it a few times and shaped it, you know, took the time to kind of squeeze out the excess water and shape the brush, and I've left it drying flat, it still wants to get all these hairs poking out on either side of it. And from the reviews I've seen and tutorials I've seen on YouTube, that's not a good thing in an expensive brush. So I am just a little bit disappointed with this brush. Now, for just putting on a lot of water, just to be able to put a lot of water on paper quickly, it's fine for that. But if I really wanted to get in and get like a precise line with it, it's not performing that well for that. But these round brushes I'm very pleased with. Again, I've used them a couple of times, and then when I was done, I rinsed them out well, and then just took the time to kind of do like that to shape them and laid them flat to dry, and they did beautifully. They stayed intact, and they performed well in the watercolor and on the paper. Kept a really nice sharp point, but then again, when it was wet, I could also splay it out and get a completely different effect with the paint. So they perform beautifully. I can honestly say I can highly recommend these Simply Simmons brushes, and they were on sale, and I'm so sorry, off the top of my head I don't remember the price, but they were all under $5 a brush. They were, I want to say, in the neighborhood of $2.50 to $3.50 per brush. And then this one again was the most expensive. It was on sale. It was on clearance actually for about $10.50. And so the fact that I spent the most money on, I've spent almost as much money on this brush as I did on these 3 combined, and it's my least favorite. So I will be looking to get a couple of different flat brushes that are not in this brand. So that was the brushes that I purchased. And then they were also having a big sale on, I mean, a really rock bottom price sale on Turner Artist Watercolors, Turner Professional Grade. So I loaded up. I decided that if I'm going to do this watercolor thing, then I should take Lindsay's advice and get quality products to work with. And so I'm working on getting brushes, but I also got paints. And so much, and based on her recommendations, I bought the colors that she most highly recommended to really get a good palette. And these were the 15 milliliter size tubes. So this one is the alizarin crimson, and by tube I don't know the exact price, but they ranged in price from $2.49 a tube to $4.49 a tube. So they were originally priced, I think, over $7 a tube, or up to $10 a tube. So this was a really, really awesome sale, and so like I said, I racked up. So this was alizarin crimson, phthalo blue, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, hooker's green, trying to figure out where to put these. Okay, Payne's gray, burnt umber, quinacridone magenta, permanent lemon, permanent gamboge, dioxazine violet, Prussian blue, cadmium red, ultramarine blue, and sap green. So I did choose these colors based on Lindsay Wyrick's recommendation for colors for setting up a basic watercolor palette. And she doesn't personally use masking fluid all that much, but since I'm a beginner, I thought it would be a little bit easier. So I liked the thought process behind this. Rather than ruining a brush applying masking fluid, I got this bottle of masking fluid that comes with a fine tip on it, so you can apply it directly to, you take this off and screw the tip on, and it's got, let's see if I can get that off. Oh, it unscrews. Okay, it's got a really fine tip on it, and then within the cap is an even finer point that goes in the tip to keep it from clogging. So I thought that was really genius. It wasn't exactly the cheapest thing. This little bottle, which is only 37.5 milliliters or 1.25 fluid ounces, was around $8. So it wasn't the cheapest, but I figured once I use up all the masking fluid in here, I can then buy a larger container of masking fluid and just refill this. But I really like the idea of having this fine tip for application. And so that was that. And then I'm going to zoom back out because we're going to need a little bit more room to see the rest of the items in my box. Okay, and because I am a stamper, and Lindsay knew that when I commented on one of her videos, I asked her about, I was about to buy some watercolor paper from Crafter's Companion because they are a big brand name who's been doing stamping and stamping products for years. But she recommended, rather than buying paper from them, to go to Jerry's Artarma and look at the Fabriano Studio watercolor paper, the hot press, because it's very smooth. Because it's hot press, it's a very smooth surface, and it's good for stamping. And then if you want to watercolor those stamps, this is the perfect paper for doing that. And so I went ahead and bought it, and it was just a little over $20 for, and this is the 11 by 14 size. I do normally work with like a 9 by 11 size, but I decided to go with a little bit bigger because the price difference between the two wasn't that much. I think it was $1 or less was the price difference between the 9 by 11 size and 11 by 14. So I figured this way I got a little bit more paper, well actually a lot more when you add it up over 50 sheets, and I get, I think, 2 more cards worth of, once I cut it down to this size, I get 2 more cards worth of paper per sheet than with the 9 by 11 size. So it it was worth it. And then if I'm going to be watercoloring any kind of pictures on it, then it gives me plenty of space to have room to tape down, and then still have plenty of picture space in between the tape. I do intend to get some cold press paper also before it's over with for picture making, but this was a good investment to cover what I mostly do, which is card making. And like I said, this was awesome. This pad is really huge. I mean, 50 sheets is pretty generous, and for $20 or around $23, I thought it was really worth it. And then of course, if you're setting up a watercolor palette, you need an actual palette. So I did look at a number of the different watercolor palettes that they had, and I ended up choosing this Jack, I don't know if it's Richardson or Rikison, but I picked up this Jack Richardson or Rikison palette because I like the way it was laid out on the inside. But it did have a couple of issues, but it is a really, it's a sturdy enough plastic, but it is quite flexible, so there is that possibility for cracking. And even though, and I gotta tell you, it's no fault of Jerry's Artarma, because they had this package, they had it packed so well, and they had lots of the bubble stuff, the air stuff to give everything plenty of cushion. So I just figured the package was handled roughly enough that the palette is cracked right here. So this well will absolutely not hold paint, because it's got actually a hole all the way through, and so anything in it would just drip right out. But I did pick this palette because of the number of wells. I didn't want it with like 40 some odd wells, because I don't think I'm ever gonna work with that many colors, because like Lindsay says all the time, you only need the basics, you know, the 3 primaries in warm, the 3 primaries in cool, and then some neutrals, and you've got all you need to mix any color you need. So I got a palette that had just a couple more wells than the actual number of paints that I purchased. And then again, I was disappointed because the lid is also cracked all the way through and is completely unusable, because if I mix anything in the lid, it has a possibility of dripping out through that crack. But here's the thing, and I've got to give Jerry's Artarma complete kudos for this. I called them and first off thanked them for the job that they attempted to do in packaging the product really well. All of these were in little boxes, and they were all cushioned. Everything was packaged beautifully. It really was. So I was shocked when this palette arrived cracked and broken. But I thank them for the job that they attempted to do in packaging it well. But you know, in the end, I still ended up with a broken product. And so I asked them, you know, would they please send me a shipping label so that I could return it to them? And they said there's no need. We will just replace the palette, and you keep the broken one. Do whatever you wish to do with it. So that was awesome. So free of charge, and without me having to ship this one back, they are shipping me a new one, and it's already on its way. I got a shipping confirmation already. So Lindsay is not wrong in highly recommending Jerry's Artarma, because their customer service is 100% on point, and you're fixing to find out even further why I say that. Because not only do they have a phenomenally good sales where you can get quality artist products at student prices, which it just blew my mind how good their prices were, but their customer service is just phenomenally good. And then you guys are not going to believe, this is the part that just really blew my mind, the free gifts with purchase that came in the package. So free of charge, I did not pay for these were just gifts with purchase, is this 250 milliliter bottle of Lucas Krill Studio acrylic paint, and it's titanium white. And any artist knows you can't have enough titanium white on hand. You go through it like none other. And I do still do a little bit of acrylic painting, but my son is into acrylic painting right now, and he was actually in need of a titanium white. So awesome. That saved me from having to go purchase that. And then they did have this Soho Urban Artist watercolor. It's a 5 milliliter tube of ultramarine blue, so that was for me to try out. This is a fairly new brand, I think, on the market. this Soho, so I can see why they're trying to, and I think the Lucas is something that's new to Jerry's Artarma. And so I guess they're trying to highlight those products to get more interest in them. And then there was also a Lucas titanium white oil paint. Now I don't do any oil painting whatsoever, and I'm actually trying to trade this for a tube of watercolor paint right now with one of the artist groups that I belong to on Facebook. So, but still, I mean, that's, wait, and there's more. This is I saved the best for last. Then there was also this Rhapsody Kalinsky Sable brush, and it's a watercolor brush in a size 4. Guys, this is a $45 brush that Jerry sells for, I think, $25. That was included as a free gift with purchase. OMG. You can see I haven't even taken out the package because I wanted you guys to see it as it came to me. So I haven't even played with it. I haven't even taken out the package. I was just stunned that they sent a $45 brush as a free gift with purchase. So, but for what they sell it for, $25, and then with the cost of what these products are on their website, this was $35 worth of product, free of charge as a free gift with purchase. So I was just absolutely blown away by that, by their customer service, by the price of the products. I can at this point in time highly recommend Jerry's Artarma. They are phenomenal retailer to purchase artist products from. I'm gonna put an iCard here to some other haul videos. If you like watching that sort of thing, go ahead and click on that iCard, and it'll bring you to some a playlist with some other haul videos. If you've purchased from Jerry's Artarma and you've had good customer service experiences, leave those in the comments below, and let's give them some love for their outstanding customer service and their quality products at really affordable prices. As always, I am so grateful to you for tuning in, for watching my videos, just for being here, for rating, commenting, subscribing. And if you would like to give me a little bit more support and help me bring more of these type of videos to you, I'm going to put an iCard right here that you can click on, and it will take you to a place where you can donate. And if you choose to do so, thank you so much. But if it's not in your budget, that's okay. Keep coming back and watching my videos, because that's the best help of all you can give me. As always, you guys have a very blessed day. Bye now.